Russia's latest strike came without warning, but its impact may echo across the battlefield for weeks. Vladimir Putin's forces say they have hit a critical Ukrainian warehouse storing loitering munitions, the very weapons Kyiv has relied on to slow Russian advances and strike deep behind enemy lines. This was not just another target. Loitering munitions, often called kamikaze drones, are a cornerstone of Ukraine's current offensive and defensive tactics. They scout, hover, and strike with precision. Destroying their storage and launch infrastructure could blunt Ukraine's ability to respond quickly on multiple fronts. According to Russia's defense ministry, the attack was carried out using a coordinated barrage of operational tactical aircraft, missiles, artillery, and strike drones. Alongside the warehouse, Moscow claims it hit launch sites for long-range UAVs, energy facilities supporting Ukrainian military operations, and temporary deployment zones used by Ukrainian troops and foreign fighters. The message is clear. Russia is not just targeting troops on the front line, it is going after the systems that sustain Ukraine's war effort: fuel, power, drones, and command nodes. This is about weakening Ukraine's operational tempo before it can regroup or mount fresh offensives. And the scale of fighting remains relentless. In just the past 24 hours, Russia claims Ukrainian forces suffered roughly 1,260 casualties across the entire line of engagement. These numbers, released by Moscow, underscore the intensity of combat stretching from the north to the south of the battlefield. Let's break down where the fighting was most severe. In the north, Russia's Battle Group North reported gains in positions near settlements in the Sumy and Kharkov regions. Moscow says Ukrainian mechanized and assault units were hit hard, with around 160 troops killed or wounded. Russian forces also claim the destruction of a tank, armored vehicles, artillery guns, and electronic warfare station. 3 Ukrainian materiel depots were reportedly wiped out, another blow to logistics. Moving westward, Battle Group West intensified pressure in the Kharkov region and parts of Donetsk. Russia says it inflicted around 200 casualties, destroyed armored vehicles, artillery guns, and ammunition depots, and knocked out an electronic warfare station. These strikes, if accurate, could further limit Ukraine's ability to jam Russian drones and communications. In the south, the fighting appears even more brutal. Battle Group South claims more than 185 Ukrainian casualties and the destruction of armored personnel carriers, including a US-made M113, along with multiple armored combat vehicles and artillery systems. Among the destroyed equipment, Russia says, was a US-manufactured Paladin self-propelled howitzer, one of the more advanced systems supplied to Kyiv by Washington. The central sector remains one of the most contested zones of the war. Battle Group Center reported over 395 Ukrainian casualties in just one day. Russian forces say they struck a wide array of Ukrainian units, including air assault brigades, Marine infantry, National Guard formations, and the Azov Brigade, which Moscow labels as extremist. The toll included armored vehicles, rocket launchers, and multiple artillery systems, again highlighting Russia's focus on heavy firepower. Further east, Battle Group East claims it continues to push deeper into Ukrainian defenses in the Zaporizhia and Dnipropetrovsk regions. Russian officials say around 260 Ukrainian troops were lost, along with tanks, armored personnel carriers, and a Grad multiple rocket launcher. These areas are key to both sides' long-term strategic objectives, particularly control of supply routes and territory. Along the Dnieper axis, Russian forces reported eliminating more than 60 Ukrainian troops and destroying jamming stations, radar systems, and artillery, including a Polish-made Krab self-propelled gun. Electronic warfare remains a critical battlefield domain, and losses here could expose Ukrainian units to increased drone and missile attacks. Above the battlefield, the air war rages on. Russia says its air defense systems intercepted and destroyed a staggering 370 Ukrainian drones in just 24 hours, along with HIMARS rockets, guided bombs, and long-range missiles. If confirmed, this would mark one of the heaviest single-day drone interception totals reported so far. Taken together, these claims paint a picture of sustained, large-scale combat with no sign of de-escalation. The destruction of a loitering munitions warehouse, in particular, suggests Russia is attempting to seize the initiative, crippling Ukraine's drone-based strike capability before it can be replenished. For Ukraine, drones have been a force multiplier, allowing smaller units to hit larger targets, gather intelligence, and compensate for shortages in heavy weaponry. For Russia, the strategy appears to be attrition with precision, hitting not just soldiers, but the machinery of war itself. Warehouses, depots, energy nodes, and launch sites are all in the crosshairs. As both sides trade claims and counterclaims, one reality remains undeniable. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky delivered a rare and stark admission, conceding that the Air Force's performance against Russian forces has fallen short and remains deeply unsatisfactory.
The performance of the Air Force against the Shaheds is unsatisfactory. We have interceptors, significant forces are engaged, mobile fire groups, F-16s are available, but the organization of Air Force operations must be different. We reviewed this situation separately with the Minister of Defense. Conclusions will be drawn.
The war is grinding on with ferocious intensity, and the battlefield is evolving rapidly. Strikes like this, targeting drones, logistics, and infrastructure, may shape not just the next offensive, but the direction of the conflict itself. For now, the smoke has not cleared, and the next move from either side could once again shift the balance.